I'm Don Dyer. I'm with the Waste Board. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a short intro and review the PCLU Symposia we had a few months ago and talk about some issues that were raised and what we're going to be doing about them. And then we're going to get into some very interesting presentations. The speakers for today's session, Brett McDonald is a consultant, a brownfields consultant. You may wonder, well, what's brownfields doing here? You know, we're solid waste, but you'll find out. He's going to connect us all together on that. James Evenson, he's with the Source Group. He's teamed up with Brett on a few projects that they'll be showing you this morning. Ted Terrasas is a registered environmental health specialist with the Monterey County LEA. And he and Derek Lieberman, who's with the Army Base Closure Group, are going to be having a very interesting and explosive discussion about things that are going on over at Fort Ord. And then Jerry is going to finish up with a very interesting project he's just recently completed at the Sonoma Development Center and Jack London Park up in Sonoma County. So to just briefly do a recap of the symposia, they broke down into a few basic categories. There were a lot of regulatory issues, such as applicability of standards and enclosed structures. There were technical issues that we presented on site investigations, design issues, gas, and of course we always have the legal issues that need to be presented, such as compliance with state minimum standards, Title 27, and this varies around with jurisdictions on how aggressively they pursue applicability of Title 27, and so that's something we want to be working with LEAs on more in the future to make sure that those standards are consistently applied. And we had a plethora of case studies presented at the symposia, which people found quite interesting. It just ran the spectrum. You can see it goes all the way from Sutter's Landing down to Hunters Point Shipyard and everything in between. And it was very well received. We asked folks not just what we did, what can we address in the future, what issues are you dealing with that need to be worked on, developed by the board, developed perhaps by LEAs, by CCDEH, by legislation, by regulation. And so what we did was we collected all those, and they're broken down under basic categories of authority, consultation, coordination, and notification. Those are three primary headings under which most of the comments and the issues broke down to. And I thought rather than just presenting these issues to you and saying, well, that's nice, okay, on to the next thing, it would be better if you had some assurance that we were really taking these seriously and we were committing to pursue some of these issues. And we have. I've discussed with management, Scott and Howard, and we have committed in the coming months to address at least 3 of these issues and work on them, develop them, have something concrete put in place. And these are, and one which was most commonly mentioned was authority over past owners and operators, for LEAs to be able to go back into previous owners and operators, apply the standards, take actions. That one we will be working on and have some definitive steps taken. Applicability of the Polanco Act. I understand this is not a widespread concern. It came out of Orange County primarily, but we just wanted to set the record straight on the applicability of it with regard to hazardous waste sites versus solid waste sites. So you'll be seeing some direction, something out of our legal office on that will be applicable to all of you. And then the LEAs in particular were asking for some boilerplate EPP language. And we will develop that and get it out to you, although a lot of you already have it. Post-closure land use in your EPPs, it was asked for, and we will develop it and provide it and send it out to you. And before we get into the first presentation, I just wanted to let you know a couple of other things that I'm working on with regard to post-closure. Last year we did an email survey, and we got a fairly good response. With a little follow-up and coercion, we got about a 60% response rate about the types of uses, because in order to try and develop better information in the solid waste information system at the board, SWIS. We just redid the screens for post-closure land use, and so we wanted to try and get that populated with some basic data, like the dates that post-closure uses were done and the types of uses. We had about a 60% response rate on the quick informal survey, and we're hoping to get a little more data in the future. But also, I'm going to be starting up, trying to work with some LEAs. I'm going to start with Fresno as a test case, but what I'd like to do is spend some time going out to the counties and various jurisdictions and documenting, gathering more data on actual developments, post-closure land uses that have been done, the data, and then also photo documentation so that we can get that into SWIS and on our websites so that more people can have a better idea of just exactly what is going on around the country, around the state. Because you go to the symposia, you come here, you see a few examples. These, we've got 3 or 4 or 5 here. We had 10 or 12 examples at the symposia, but there's literally hundreds of examples around the state. And so what we'd like to do is get that in a very presentable, easily read format for you on our website so that you can really see what's going on.